Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break. Throwback Thursday edition. The Takeover, of course, is powered by JM&E, and I am KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. I am recording this show on Wednesday, May 20th. You're watching it on May 21st on YouTube on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, or you could be joining the growing numbers who are watching it on Roku via the BS3 Network. And what do you say? What? BS3 Network? What is that? Well, if you have Roku, simply download the BS3 app and you can see for yourself what a BS3 TV is all about. If not, you can go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. You can watch shows on demand, shows live, great content like the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. A lot of H-Town news, Houston, Rice, Texas Southern, some Houston Comets renderings tossed in to today's edition of the Takeover. So enjoy the ride, conversation. I'm going to share some info, stuff you may not have seen. Let's get right into it. And if you're new to the show, I try to usually, the first school I discuss is my beloved alma mater, and that is the University of Houston. So Houston Athletics is first up. Let's get into it. New head coach for tennis, Valeria Zaleva. Valeria Zaleva was named head coach of the Houston Cougars tennis program. Here's some info about her. Valeria Zaleva, the 2026 national runner-up, assistant coach, and two-time American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, was named the 12th head coach of the University of Houston team program, pending approval, blah, 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 blah. The Eddie Nunez announced that a few days ago. Quote from Mr. Nunez, "We are thrilled to welcome Valeria to Houston. She is a proven winner that has coached world-class athletes to the highest level of collegiate tennis and helped her previous school," we'll get to that in a second, but from the SEC, her previous school to a runner-up finish at the NCAA championships. "She will help elevate our program to the next level," end quote. Zaleva comes to Houston after 3 seasons as an assistant coach at Auburn, where she helped the Tigers to a 2026 national runner-up finish, the 2026 SEC regular season and tournament championship titles, and 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Quote from Coach Zaleva, "I'm incredibly grateful and excited for the opportunity to lead the women's tennis program at the University of Houston. I want to thank Eddie Nunez, David Williams, and Alvin Franklin for believing in me and trusting me with this program. From the beginning of this process, it was clear how committed everyone is to the future of Houston athletics, and that made this opportunity really special to me," end quote. This season, the Tigers, the Auburn Tigers, won 37 matches with a perfect 22-0 record at home. Auburn ranked number 1 in the national polls on multiple occasions and earned the number 2 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. The most decorated player in UCF women's tennis history, Zaleva was unanimously named the AAC Player of the Year in 2021 after winning the award in 2019. She was named to the American All-Conference team and earned an automatic bid to the NCAA Singles Championships to become the first Knight to earn bids in the singles draw in multiple years. Another quote from Coach Zaleva, wrapping it up. "Houston is a place with great energy, great people, and a strong foundation, and I'm excited to get to work. My goal is to build a program that competes at a high level, develops great young women, and makes our alumni and fans proud. I'm looking forward to building relationships with our student athletes, the university community, and everyone who supports Cougar tennis." I don't know much about college tennis. I used to watch tennis a lot, professional tennis a lot more when I was a kid. It looks like a great hire. I'm kind of curious what she was at Auburn as an assistant coach. UCF, I'm not even sure if UCF has a tennis program, but I mean, obviously they do because she played there and excelled there. But they didn't want to hire her, a former alum, to lead their program. So I think it's a great hire by Mr. Nunez, and I wish her great success at Houston. And I hope, and I've said this on many platforms, part of the Houston Roundball Review Media Group, as an alum, a proud alum of the University of Houston, I want all of the Houston athletics teams, programs to shine and excel and compete, not only compete, but win championships. And I hope Coach can get that done. Next, for Houston athletics, the track team. More specifically, the Houston Cougars men's track and field team. The Cougar Paw Big 12 championship success. Let's get into this. Some more details regarding their success the last few days at the Big 12 championships. Cougars win 3 conference titles. Men's team finishes 3rd at Big 12 Outdoor Championship. The Houston Cougars track and field team secured 3 conference titles as the men's squad finished 3rd overall Saturday, May 16th at the 2026 Big 12 Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championship held at Rockman Stadium. I think that's in Arizona. Texas Tech secured the men's title with 127 points, followed by Arizona in second place with 101, and the Cougars finishing 3rd with 87.33. Texas Tech also won the women's title with 119.5 points. Houston, and I got to really do some more. This is 2 years in a row. Houston women's team not doing very well in Big 12 track. Houston posted 20.5 points for 14th place. 14th. There's only 16 teams in a conference, and if it's like baseball, only 14 teams made the championship. Yeah. But earning points in the 100-meter hurdles, the 4x100-meter relay, the 4x400-meter relay, pole vault, triple jump, and shot put. Junior Andrea Mita won his first outdoor Big 12 title in the men's high jump after posting a personal best of 2.26 meters. Mita entered the competition at 2.07 meters and cleared 2.12, 2.16, and 2.20, all on his first attempt. The junior claimed the title on his second try at 2.23 meters and kept raising the bar. Mita cleared 2.26 on his second attempt, tying for 3rd on Houston's all-time performance list. Graduate Kanan Wary was crowned the men's discus champion with a season best mark of 58.49 meters. Wary's 3rd attempt earned him the title as he moved up to 5th on Houston's all-time performance list. The men's 4x100-meter relay, H-Town Speed City, secured its 2nd Big 12 title, having previously won in 2024. Graduate Ryan Mulholland, freshman Sean Egbobo, senior Dakari Charlton, and senior Louis Hinchcliffe set a facility record and recorded the 7th fastest time in program history with 38.51 seconds. H-Town Speed City scored 21 points in the men's 100-meter final. Hinchcliffe finished 2nd with a time of 9.97, followed by Charlton in 3rd with 10.11. Egbobo took 5th at 10.18, while Mulholland closely followed in 6th with a time of 10.19. So I want to acknowledge the success of the Houston Cougars men's outdoor track and field team. Share the news about tennis getting a new head coach. That's what really the theme of today's takeover is: coaching hires, but also some track and field news, because I'm going to share some news with the Rice Owls. Rice women's team is the ish. You're about to find out. But first, Rice Owls volleyball head coach Ginny Volpe announced the hire of associate head coach Caitlin Nolan Ayeni. And if you follow Houston volleyball, That name should ring a bell, and I'll explain. Rice volleyball head coach Jenny Volpe announced the hiring of Caitlin Nolan-Ianni as the program's associate head coach on Monday. Quote from Coach Volpe, "I am pleased to announce the addition of Caitlin Nolan-Ianni to our Rice volleyball staff. Her background as both an elite collegiate athlete and an accomplished coach in the AAC and Big 12 uniquely positions her to make an immediate impact on our program. Caitlin's competitive spirit, professionalism, and dedication to success are evident from the moment you interact with her. I am confident that her contributions will further advance the growth and national profile of Rice volleyball," end quote. Nolan-Ianni joins Rice volleyball after spending the past 6 seasons at the University of Houston, where she was promoted to associate head coach in 2023. During her tenure with the Cougars, she helped establish Houston as one of the nation's top defensive programs, while primarily working with the team's liberos, I've heard both, and back row defense. Quote from Coach Nolan-Ianni, "I want to thank Jenny and the administration for this incredible opportunity. Rice University is a world-class institution, and Jenny has built one of the premier volleyball programs in the country. I'm excited for the opportunity to work alongside Jenny and the staff and contribute to the continued success of the program," end quote. So Rice got someone from the Houston Cougars staff for volleyball. As I mentioned, Rice Owls women's track and field. That photo says a lot. Picture says, in the middle, Outdoor Track and Field Championship. American Conference champions. Rice Owls women's track and field. Let's get into it. The Rice women's track and field team capped off a storybook ending for legendary head coach Jim Bevan as champions of the American Conference Saturday evening, just a few days ago, in Denton, Texas. Bevan was named the American Conference Coach of the Year, his 15th conference honor. The final day of competition opened with Savannah Sims' return in the triple jump, winning the event off a 13.19 meters jump on her first attempts since January. Yes, she's been out with injury since January and came back and won the American Conference Championship. Her mark qualifies for NCAA Regionals in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The 400-meter squad scored an abundance of points, led by Barbara Malikova, winning the race with a time of 52.02, completing the indoor and outdoor 400-meter sweep. Rihanna Green made it on the podium with a third-place finish, while Arena Mickles added points in fifth. The 4x400-meter relay team of Green, Mickles, Freeman, and Malikova closed the night by running a season-best time of 3 minutes, 34 seconds, and 634 and 600 seconds to finish. Try that again. 3 minutes, 34 and 600 of a second. The Owls earned their 24th conference title in program history and 14th under Coach Bevan. I'm going to say Bevan and Bevan. Bevan has now been part of conference championships in the Southwest Conference, the WAC, Conference USA, and American Conference. Post-meet reaction from head coach Jim Bevan. I am so proud of the effort these athletes displayed this weekend. This meet had a lot of questions coming in, but we showed up and performed with tremendous heart all 3 days. There are so many great athletes to recognize for this weekend, and I can't even begin to list them all. I do want to highlight 3 incredible athletes who all came into the year facing adversities. Savannah Sims hasn't jumped since January, and in just a month's training, went the triple jump and qualifies for NCAA regionals. I am so proud of her, and she is such a fierce competitor. Laura Duckhorn battled back from injury and reached the podium in the heptathlon in third. Extremely proud of her effort and determination this weekend. Lastly, Josie Taylor wasn't sure if she was going to continue track, and we were able to get her back out this year and had a great indoor and scored again in outdoors while also making regionals. I am so proud of all three of them for the courage they displayed this meet and this season. I have to thank my staff, Andrea, Cutter, Breck, and Tegan. They deserve all the credit for what we are able to accomplish. I wouldn't have nearly the amount of success without them. This is honestly a surreal moment. I am so proud to be the coach of this team and to have been the head coach of the Rice Owls for the last 20 years. This is truly a fairy tale ending, end quote. That first name staffer he mentioned, Andrea. New head coach, Andrea Blackett, for women's track and field and cross country. New head coach on the staff this past year. Rice Owl legend. Rice Owls track and field legend. On Tuesday, May 12th, Rice Vice President and Director of Athletics, Tammy McClelland, announced that Andrea Blackett from the Rice class of 97 has been named the third ever head coach for the women's track and field and cross country program. Blackett will take over the program effectively on July 1, following the retirement of longtime head coach Jim Bevan. McClellan informed the team shortly before their departure for the American Conference Track and Field Championships. One of the greatest student athletes in Rice athletics history, Blackett rejoined the Owls this season as the associate head coach, bringing her career full circle from student athlete to now her alma mater's next head coach. Blackett follows two of her mentors, Victor Lopez, who coached the Owls from 1980 to 2005, and Bevan, 2005 to 2026, as the only head coaches in program history. Quote from head coach Andrea Blackett: I am deeply honored to have the opportunity to serve in this role as the third head women's track and field coach at Rice University. Our program has a long-standing tradition of excellence, both academically, and athletically, and I'm excited to continue to build on that foundation. Succeeding two head coaches like Victor Lopez and Jim Bevan is truly humbling. I have tremendous respect for everything they have both accomplished and the culture they created here. I am eager to keep on working with our student athletes, staff, alumni, and the entire Rice community as we continue striving for excellence on the track and field, in the classroom, and in life, end quote. Coach Bevan with a quote: I am very excited for Andrea and for the future of our program. Andrea is a sterling example of a great coach, a great person, and is a pivotal part of the history of Rice women's track and field as an athlete and coach. She is one of the greatest athletes in Rice history and has developed some of the best sprinters that Rice has ever seen over her years on South Main. Andrea's extensive coaching experience, her knowledge of Rice, and her commitment to leading aspiring student athletes towards their goals will enable her to flourish with our program. Andrea is a perfect choice to become the program's next head coach, and I couldn't be happier for her. I'm so excited for our future, end quote. So there's some news and info about Rice athletics. So we touched on my alma mater, Houston, touched on Rice. I'm going to share some news from Texas Southern women's basketball after you hear this promo from the BS3 Network. Remember, you're watching today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday, powered by JM&E. The Takeover is available on YouTube on the Houston Roundball Review channel, and of course on Roku. Yes, on Roku, reaching a wider audience, growing every day via the BS3 Network. I'll be back in 90 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday edition. Takeover is, of course, powered by JM&E. I am KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Takeover is available, of course, on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review channel, as well as on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have Roku, simply download the BS3 app. You can watch content and great shows like The Takeover and more. Or you can watch them on demand, live and on demand. Your choice. Back to it. Now some news and information regarding Texas Southern women's basketball. Jillian Ebron Jackson has been promoted. She's rising up the coaching staff ranks on the TSU women's staff. Salute to her. And there's an interesting connection tie-in with the Sampson family. Check this out. Yes, the Sampson family at the University of Houston. Here we go. The Texas Southern women's basketball program announced the promotion of Jillian Ebron Jackson to associate head coach, recognizing her leadership, innovation, and instrumental impact on the program over the past 3 years. Comment from head coach Vernette Skeet. Coach Jackson has grown tremendously within our program over the past 3 years. Her leadership, integrity, and tireless work ethic have elevated every aspect of our program, from recruiting to community engagement to internal staff development. She consistently fills gaps, solves problems, and leads by example. Promoting her to associate head coach is both earned and necessary for the continued success of this program, end quote. Since joining the staff as the team's video coordinator and media correspondent in 2023, Coach Jackson has been a driving force behind the program's growth both on and off the court. She has played a pivotal role in elevating the program's visibility, building a social media presence, and I can vouch for that consistently reaches viral engagement and significantly expands the team's brand. In addition to leading the program's digital strategy, Coach Jackson has anchored the program's community relations and outreach initiatives, strengthening connections with the fans, youth programs, guest coaches, and local partners. She has led staff scouting assignments and organization, and also plays a vital role with the program's recruiting and mental health awareness initiatives. Her impact has extended directly to the court as well, During the most recent recruiting cycle, she helped lead the program to one of the top recruiting classes during head coach Vernett Skeet's tenure. Ebron Jackson played 4 seasons at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. Coug fans. Coach Kevin Sampson, graduate from North Carolina at Pembroke. His wife, Karen Sampson, is on the board of directors at UNCP. Small world. That's putting out there. But where she was a versatile guard, where Coach Jackson was a versatile guard. Over her career, she appeared in 87 games, contributing across the board with scoring, rebounding, assists, and defensive intensity. Before college, she started at J.H. Rose High School in Greenville, North Carolina, where she was a 4-time MVP and all-county selection. She scored over 1,000 career points and averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 3.4 steals per game as a senior. So kudos and congrats to head coach Jillian Ebron Jackson. All right, family. If you missed Sunday's edition of Folks Talkin Sports with me and colleagues Kanitra Pulliams, as well as Adolphus A.D. Moore. And of course, A.D. Moore is the host of the Ad Max Corner, which features a lot of Houston Texans news info, as well as the NFL. Catch that on Ad Max Corner on YouTube and Instagram and Threads. One of our topics was the Houston Comets, and I guess there still are Houston Comets, regarding the trademark lawsuits, litigations pending between the WNBA and TSTM. But I shared some renderings, drawings that the Houston Comets communications department sent to the media, and I think it's also available on the Comets website. But if you have not seen the pictures yet, here are a few of them. And this is part of Toyota Center Reimagined. That's how it's being promoted, described. It's upgrades at Toyota Center throughout the facilities, indoor as well as outside of Toyota Center. So enough about that, because they're not yet a sponsor of this show or anything regarding Houston Roundball Review, but there you go with that. But here are some of the pictures. I'm going to start from the beginning, right here. This is one of 2 images of the practice court. If you are a longtime follower of the Rockets, heck, if you go back as far as I do, and remember the Comets when they were around in the early 2000s, not since the inception, but early 2000s, the windows you see to the left of the picture, this is where the Rockets used to practice, and hell, where the Comets used to practice as well. I know because I covered the team for a long time. I'm one of the few still remaining media members in Houston that covered the Comets way back when. But this is one of the drawings. All right. This is of the practice court. This is picture 1. So let me know your thoughts on what you see in these renderings as I scroll through them. Please leave comments below the video as you're watching on YouTube. Picture 1 of the practice court. Next is from the opposite viewpoint. This is picture 2 from the practice court. Okay, you can still see, and notice go back here. You can see it in the upper part, but notice the banner. The banner is the old Comets logo. I say old because, and that is the inaugural championship from 1997. Houston Comets. That's the logo, the branding that TSTM claims to own the trademark to, and the Comets ownership / WNBA are trying to get that back. we'll see if that happens. So 2 views of the practice courts. You also see the other 4 banners, 97, 98, 99, 2000. But yes, that is where the Rockets used to practice. You could, be downtown, walk on the sidewalk, come closer, and sometimes if the curtains aren't closed, get a glimpse of practice, or at the very least, players shooting free throws, doing some shoot around, some things like that. So this is where the Comets. This is a drawing of what the Comets practice court will look like. Next, the weight room. Another drawing of, one of the, I think I have 9 drawings to show. So this is the Comets weight room. The locker room. And let me stop right here because I want to okay, you can still see me. My shiny bald head is big enough right here. The Rockets have their own practice facility. How is it old? But 3 years old now? The construction cost was roughly $75 million. The Rockets also have locker rooms inside Toyota Center. When Houston Comets 1.0 existed, they had locker rooms inside Toyota Center. I think there were 4 sets of locker rooms, I think, maybe even more. One for the Rockets, one for the NBA opponent, one for the Comets, one for the Comets WNBA opponent. And then at the time, there was even hockey locker rooms as well, because the Arrows from the AHL also had locker rooms over inside Toyota Center. When the Arrows moved, those locker rooms were torn down and rebuilt for something else. So this rendering, I'm not sure where the Comets locker room is going to be. Okay? Because right now, the Rockets have their locker room. The NBA opponent has a locker room. The back part of Toyota Center is suites and lounges for the high rollers. Well, VIPs, high rollers, season ticket holders on the high tier. So I'm not sure where this is going to be built inside Toyota Center, but this is a locker room drawing. Next, 2 pictures of the vanity room. So the Comets vanity room. This is part of one of the items that the WNBA Players Union really pushed for, was upgrades, things of this sort for the players. So the 2 pictures of this. Slightly different angles of the vanity room. All right. So again, let me know your thoughts on what you're seeing in these slides. Next, this is the dining area. This is the dining. This is the picture, one of the drawings that the Comets PR department sent to the media. And this should be also, I think, shared on the website. As Kanitra pointed out Sunday in the episode 184 of Folks Talkin Sports, as well as some of our viewers, this looks like the dining area of a hotel chain. I'm not going to say the hotel chain because the hotel chain is not a sponsor of the Roundball Review. But if they want to, please reach out to me and I'll work with you on that. But this has a hotel chain vibe to it. You agree? Disagree? Let me know. Next, the training room. The Rockets training room at their own facility probably has few more bells and whistles than this, just like the weight room does. I know because I've been there, been on tour, media tour over there. And then last but not least, or some would argue last and least, you let me know, is the hydrotherapy room for the Comets. So cold tub, cold pool, whatever. It looks like there are a few different pools, swimming pools, rehab pools, heat, hot and cold pools. So what do you think? Are you like, yeah, is that it? Is that all there is to it? Or as bluntly as Kanitra said, are the Comets getting sloppy seconds and the Rockets are getting new? Do you think, is that what you think? Let me say it one more time. The Rockets have their own practice facility. Cost of $75 million. That facility includes weight room, locker rooms, coaches' rooms, video rooms. I think a video theater as well, office space, all of that. The Comets, on the other hand, I'm assuming they'll have the office space and things of that sort is what the Rockets used to utilize inside Toyota Center before their own facility was constructed. But keep in mind, the Comets facilities, they were already there before in the early 2000s. So they're not getting their own facility built for them. They're just getting Toyota Center upgraded, hopefully, or renovated, rehabbed. Spend it how you want to spend it. Good, bad, whatever. You can say, well, it's the Comets, the women's of the NBA, who are they? If you think like that, shame on you, but that's your thought, that's your opinion. Whatever. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below the video on YouTube. Now, final moments. Got a few more things to share. For those who remember when the Cougars were in the American, I want to share Rice is still a member of the American. So I'm going to discuss some American Conference news as well here on the Takeover. The American Football Championship to air on ABC for a 12th straight season. The 2026 American Conference Football Championship will be televised on ABC as announced Tuesday, May 12th by the conference and ESPN. The championship is set for Saturday, December 5th at 7 p.m. Central, hosted at the home stadium of the conference's regular season champion. The matchup will conclude ABC's championship weekend, which also features the Big 12, SEC, and ACC title games. ABC has broadcast the American Championship game annually since its debut in 2015, with the first 11 games reaching a combined audience of over 29 million viewers. Last year's primetime showdown saw Tulane secure its second conference title, defeating North Texas 34-21 at Ullman Stadium. The Green Wave finished 11-3 and earned the number 11 seed in the college football playoff. Teams from the American notched bold victories over opponents from the Big 12, ACC, Conference USA, and Mountain West. The American was one of only 4 leagues alongside the Big 12, Big 10, and SEC to have 3 teams finish with 11 wins last season, and the only conference to record non-conference wins against the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, and ACC. Now, time for you to order you some Houston Roundball Review merch. Do so. This is a different way for you to support the Houston Roundball Review. Scan that QR code you see on your screen and purchase an item. Purchase the tumbler, the water bottle, short sleeve shirt, Roundball Review mug, Want to Coug shirts, a few different Want to Coug items, short sleeve shirts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies as well. Yes, I have sweatshirts also. I know it's getting to be hot now, but get it for this upcoming fall/winter season. The different Roundball Review short sleeve shirt with they do I have 2 different logos. Branding, people, different marketing for you. So I got a fresh logo and a bold logo. I also have tank tops. So numerous items for you to wear, show your support for the Houston Roundball review. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the items directly, go to the Roundball review shop, click on some of the specific links to the items as well, or just scan that QR code and order your Houston Roundball review merch today. Next, as always, I want to thank the businesses who are supporting the Houston Roundball review with listings in the Houston Roundball Review's online business directory. Thank you to the African Center of Wellbeing, Be Elite Basketball, Byron Riley CPA, the Pinto Leon Law Firm, Star Pizza, United Sports and Entertainment, VIP Realty, and of course, Steve Saxenian and the Saxenian family. If you are interested, willing, and able to get listed in the online business directory, email advertise@thehrr.com. Once again, advertise at some folks say the HRR.com. And speaking of Star Pizza has a connection to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube membership. 2 different tiers, the All League tier, price of $2.99 per month. The All World tier, $4.99 per month. Each tier, you get early access to new videos, photos, and status updates in the All League tier. Loyalty badges, emojis in that tier included. But in addition to those perks, in the All World tier, you get members-only YouTube shorts, members-only videos, and members-only live streams. I haven't done the members-only live streams just yet, trying to build up the audience, the membership club before I do that. But since I'm growing it, the All League tier members also get access to some of those members-only videos. So I lean more toward providing videos for my members, not simply all early access. Majority of the videos I share with the members, I don't share it to the public. So there is content that you will only get by becoming a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member. And as I said about Star Pizza, if you become a YouTube member, a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member, one of those perks is if you have to do a couple things, but it's very simple. You can redeem an offer to receive a free large pizza from Star Pizza. It's my way of saying thank you for your support by becoming a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member. So not just early access, sometimes exclusive access, but I'm going to feed you too. So one more time, let me go back to it. But you can become a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member. Click on that join button, scan that code, different QR code that's specifically for joining and becoming a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member. So that will do it on today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Shared news about Houston athletics, Rice Owls athletics, Texas Southern women's basketball, and the Houston Comets renderings/drawings. More content like this on the Takeover. Join me next week. My final Wednesday during school year is next Thursday on the Takeover as you watch the show on May 28th. But I will be working at school this summer. My job is a 12-month gig. So during the summer, the kids won't be there, but I'll be there. And because of that, 9 times out of 10, I'll record episodes of the Takeover for you to watch on Thursdays. There'll be a couple of times, maybe 1 or 2 times, that I'll have a live show streaming on Thursday on YouTube and on BS3 Network. So subscribe to the channel, Click on that bell so you are notified when those shows are posted. And as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. And of course, since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Take care. Peace.